Good morning, one and all present here. Today I am going to handle you about what is Java threading. So Java threading and multitasking in operating system are interrelated. So in operating system, different type of devices connected to the CPU. So operating a number of devices also concurrently working, and each and every device will be handled by the CPU at the same time. Like in multi-threading, an example is given here. Different type of objects are placed in a single platform in gaming scenario. There each and every object will be running on its own, and whatever you need, the environment or whatever you need, the situation will be created there, and as such it will display. Another one example for thread is given here as number of students. Lakh number of students can be downloading their payment details from a particular URL. So that time we no need to create different number of objects for each and every student. Instead, we can create a single object with different type of different threads we can create. So each and every one thread will execute uh, the different students information as such. So here in this picture we are mentioning that single object will handle a number of threads accordingly. The students information can be retrieved from the same URL scenario, and multiple threads needed a single code instead of different number of codes. Another one example is presented here too, uh, uh, mentioning the thread example as different type of household electronic devices are interlinked with the same electrical wire, but concurrently all the devices are working for giving different informations or for giving different uh, purposes. So the electricity passing through a single line, even the different devices will give its own perspective. And process and threads are working with the different scenario. As if we are working with the word, in word we may use the syntactical or semantic error with the word file, and also processes is different. So if your uh, CPU will have a word file and a image file, each and every will be handled with different process. But within word we can create number of spell checker, like different type of programs can be do with the word. So that is called as thread. So simply we can give the definition for thread as path of execution or direction of execution. So each and every program in all languages, one thread will be handled in the background as the main flow of the program, main flow of execution of the program. So when main method is invoked, so automatically the thread will be created and the main thread will be executed as such. But for creating different threads in Java program, what we will do is either we can use um, the runnable interface or thread class, predefined class we can use. So main, whenever we are using main, the program will be executed as such. Uh, the main thread is also automatically invoked. We no need to create the explicit thread for executing the main program. So OS process scheduling is simple example. Already I told you, for handling different type of concurrent process or concurrent devices management, we can use the simple OS software. And also for creating threads, I told you already, we can use the runnable interface or thread class. Here we are using the predefined thread class is used for creating the thread small t. And also whenever we are creating thread, uh, the thread object will invokes the start method to run its own code. So each and every thread object will invoke with the start method by using t dot start. So whenever we are giving t dot start, then the corresponding run method for that particular object, thread object, will be executing. So if we want to create more number of threads, so like the giving scenario here, we can give different type, we can create different type of thread objects from the same thread class, and you can override the run method for each and every thread. So whenever start is invoked, automatically the run method will be executed for its corresponding thread object. So the main class for thread is placed with the java.lang package, so that also to be imported whenever we are using the thread concept with our Java program. So as I told you, if we want to create threads, either we can use thread class, thread predefined class, or we can use the runnable interface. Here example is given for using the creating the class downloader from the predefined class thread. So as I told you already, the URL will be executed for a number of students. Here you can imagine that DT1, DT2, DT3 and DT4 all are students names. For each and every student we are creating different objects, different threads, and for each and every thread the run method will be overridden, and whenever we are calling dt dot start method, so the run method for that dt1 student will be executed. Likewise for dt2, dt3, for all the students the same method will be called, but we may not know the same result will be giving us for every time. The reason is simultaneously all the students are executing, or simultaneously all the students are retrieving their own information from the same URL. So anybody can retrieve the information first from all the 4 students. So here this first example is giving you for creating classes with creating a thread class with the predefined uh, parent classes thread here. So run method is also given here for creating its own object. Like the extents, always you may know already, if we want to generate a class from the predefined class, we can use the keyword extents. For inheritance purpose we are using. Like I told you, the runnable interface also used for creating the thread class. The second example is given here for creating a thread class with the runnable interface. So always the interface will be implemented. So implements keyword will be used here. So for both the methods, either you can use thread class or runnable interface. You can create a new thread and you can call the start method for the particular created thread. That's it. But always our advice is to avoid extending the thread class. So instead you can create a thread class from the runnable interface and you can override the run method accordingly. And lot of constructor methods also there as predefined for the Java threads. So mainly we can concentrate 3 things here. So which is the runnable interface object, and what is the thread name, and which group belongs to the particular thread. Like all this type of things will be included for creating thread constructor. Here the first constructor will giving you empty thread, but the second constructor will be overriding an object, runnable object.
Good morning.
Likewise,
Present here.
for
Today
the fourth constructor will assigning thread name,
threading.
like it
So
goes
Java threading
on
and multitasking
different
in
type of
operating system